So, Punisher versus John Wick is what we're going to talk about today on the Who versus Who segment. I am going to look up some of the thoughts that were given on our Facebook page. This is one that I decided to go ahead and boost.
Well, I would like to start us off with, part of what, when you're looking at these two characters, they both come from a very similar place. So what we know about John Wick is that he's an assassin, and his wife dies. His wife leaves him a dog to help him cope with things. The dog gets killed, his car gets jacked. So he's coming from the same kind of place of loss, very similar to what Frank Castle comes from. So now Frank Castle has a wife and daughter that gets killed. That's a little bit different. But it's still a place of loss. So they're both kind of responding from an angry place. They both have extensive training and lots of skill sets. Both really familiar with really any kind of firearm. And I think that's probably where our similarities kind of stop, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think,
One dress is better.
Well, yeah.
You're just going to throw that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got gold coins. So John Wick, he's much more calculated. And
well, now you're talking about the differences. I was just going to start with the similarities, and then I was going to let our folks'
I don't know.
comments kind of jump in.
I think those are the most
that
important
kinda
similarities.
yeah.
They're both good with guns.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I would say that. They're both pretty good hand to hand, I would say.
Yeah, but I think there's some differences there too.
There are.
Yeah.
So, any other similarities I can think of that's important?
So, what do we get in terms of comments?
So here's some of the comments. I'll just kind of read them. John Wick looks so fake. CGI muzzle flashes. Something about the fight scenes look off too. Punisher was so realistic. So this guy's talking about the movie versus the show, and essentially that's kind of what I did. John Wick, Punisher. How is this debatable? Mr. Wick, John Wick, Punisher, John Wick all day, Punisher. Punisher is dead. I choose John Wick. What do you choose? He was tagging some other people, and they both said Wick. Somebody said draw. I see them having a beer, then killing a whole bunch of baddies together. That would be a glorious bloodbath. John Wick, draw. They shoot each other at the same time. And then Dash and Grizzly said, "It's far too late to be asking such important questions. What's wrong with you?"
That's actually
All right,
hilarious.
thanks, Dash.
When I look at this, when I look at this breakdown, when I look at the two, I would start off, and I'm gonna have to go show versus the movie because the
Netflix series.
We'll have to do Netflix series mainly because.
But you haven't seen the third movie though.
Correct. I have not. So
see,
I'm at a disadvantage.
I would venture to say that's important.
But I will say this: we do actually have thoughts from Aaron Simpkins on this.
Okay.
So I do want to play those for the listeners, and I'm gonna call this the 2 cents and 2 minutes.
All right. Hey, well,
Okay,
cool. Go play those.
So here's that. All right. So
Okay.
So Aaron really didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that, he said he gave the advantage to Punisher because of the bulletproof vest, but John Wick has the same thing. So.
Oh yeah, well, and then style.
Yeah.
Who walks around in a swank suit and that's bulletproof?
I'm sorry. I just got to say, I got to give it to John Wick. I'm going John Wick all day on this one.
Okay, but why?
I'm going to John Wick because I just feel like...
Wait, you said all day. What about nighttime?
It depends on that night. The black, you might get lost in something, both of them. But
Punisher's got a big white skull on him, so it might be more easy.
Oh, yeah, see, so at night too.
He's an easier target.
But the only reason why I think so, and I just feel like John Wick would pull something out last minute, because when I think Punisher, I think just straight brutality.
Right.
Like, I think like brute force, guns blazing and everything else. But with John Wick, I just feel like he's so much more calculating and prepared. Not saying that the Punisher's not, because he is, but I just feel like when it comes to that, I just feel like he would, because it would be one of those things that's going to come down to the very last minute, and I feel like John Wick would just pull something out of somewhere and would eventually get that kill.
Well, I think what would exemplify that is, like in the second movie, he's given 7 rounds, and he has a contract put out on him. So you're talking about it, every other contract killer is out there for $7 million trying to take out John Wick. And he's walking through New York City, and he's got all these, other assassins that are all undercover kind of thing, trying to take him out. He's got 7 rounds. He totally misses his main target, and so now he's got like no more bullets, right? So no gun. So what does he do? He's having to fight people with whatever there is. He's got this big, huge Asian dude that comes up to him and is trying to take him out.
Yeah.
How does he kill him? A pencil. A pencil. He takes him out with a freaking pencil. Mm-hmm. Frank Castle would have had to try to beat up on this guy, just fisticuffs, just straight brutality.
He would have had to.
Oh yeah, he
would.
If he had no guns, no rounds, no ammunition whatsoever.
Dude, the very first episode, he was in the bathroom. He had his belt. The scene with the gym where he was tearing everybody up with the weights and whatever was in there. Punisher's also a guy who can utilize things that are around him.
Pencil though?
But to be real,
Punisher would do the same thing with a pencil.
When he killed the dude in the bathroom, that dude was not a trained assassin or fighter, wasn't he?
I understand that, but he has gone against. I mean, Frank Castle. I feel like I'm taking the Punisher.
Evidently, you are.
You are.
But I haven't seen John Wick 3 either. But in general, though, like
goodness.
Punisher,
Right?
Punisher also, he also is very capable of using the things around him, not just guns.
Okay, here's the argument that ends all arguments, and this is why I think that, frankly, you not having seen
Frankly or Frank Castle?
Frankly.
Oh,
The
no,
reason
frankly.
why, because you haven't seen the third movie, this puts you at a disadvantage. He's excommunicado in the third movie. That
Right.
means that the whole system is against him. Everybody is out to kill him. Everybody that's a skilled, trained assassin that gets paid to do this for a living, okay, is out there trying to take him out, and he still defeats them. Now,
Spoil the movie, dude.
As opposed to. Oh, okay. First off, if you didn't already know that, then you just didn't watch the trailer.
I haven't seen it.
You didn't watch the trailer then.
No.
So I can't even tell you
there's
about
no
one
plot.
of the best scenes in the movie. I can't tell you now at all.
No.
Alright.
Dude.
I have not seen the movie.
Anyway, but versus Frank Castle, who his main opponents are what? Drug dealers, gangsters? I mean, I'm not saying they don't
Military.
kill people.
Military.
Like that means anything.
How
have
much
you met some military
does it
people?
really?
Dude.
I'd have met some troops
Percentage
that I'm
wise.
pretty
Now,
sure.
I'm going off of...
Percentage-wise.
in the comics, he killed the whole Marvel Universe, man. Come on.
So is Deadpool, you boy. Okay.
Alright, I will have to say this. For me, this is the way I see it. And like I said, this is going off of the 2 seasons of Punisher and the 2 films that I've seen of John Wick. I would say to me, I feel like I really didn't see John Wick get a whole lot of I didn't see him get a whole lot of hand-to-hand challenge. He had a lot of guns, a lot of ammunition. Now, he did have scenes where he didn't have, weapons. But in terms of getting really beat up a whole lot and still pushing through, Punisher has a lot more. I feel like on his side of that.
This shows he didn't see the third movie.
Yeah.
I have not seen the third
Really
one.
shows
That's
you
what
have
I'm
not seen the third
saying.
one.
I have not seen it.
And hand-to-hand combat, I think that John Wick exhibits that he's got far better skills. Whereas
In 3?
Yes.
I would actually say
Yes.
across the board, to be honest with
I
you.
don't know.
Because even what little bit you do see in the first 2 films is still better than Frank Castle. Frank Castle's just beast brutality.
I know.
And that's where I think
There's
he
no
would
skill
lose that.
set.
But
I think it would
I
lose
would.
there.
I will say though. Ultimately, I was collecting my thoughts for this very important topic today. It's the most important topic of the day.
Well, it is.
Most important.
Agreed.
John Wick, because of his tactical skill, because of his calm and collectiveness, to me, that puts Wick in the winning seat. Is because he doesn't really like Punisher's very angry, emotional.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the same idea I had against with Thor versus Anakin. It was like Anakin was just straight passion.
Rage.
He was rage. As far as Episode 3, just kind of angry. And I feel like that's kind of the Punisher. That he just got this.
I pretend those never happened.
But John Wick, like no matter what. I mean, there's one scene in the movie where he looked a little, a little worried when he was running after he did get excommunicado, and he gave him that time frame. Was it an hour he gave him at the end of 2? And he was kind of on the, the limping to the run to get away. But other than that, though, everything just seemed so calculated. He thought about everything through, even in the moments when he didn't, when he was surprised, it was still very. It seemed like he was a lot more calculated.
He is, because even if you look at the second movie, remember, before he went into that party and before he went to kill old girl, he literally was setting up guns in the tunnel everywhere that he knew he would be. Calculated so much that it's almost like he knew when he would run out of bullets and have to get the next gun.
Right.
I do feel like
it's like crazy.
I do feel like Punisher can also get tactical too. He can still do that as well. But I don't know. I feel like there's something about Wick that's just a little more strategic, but I feel like
plus
if it
John
was,
Wick has better cars.
That's true.
The only other person that can possibly get with John Wick on the calculated tip is either the Equalizer or the Accountant. I don't know if you've seen the Accountant with Ben Affleck.
I have not seen that.
Well, and I would say the Accountant, but that's a different special skill set. I don't know about the Equalizer. I mean, he was good, but I don't know that.
I still think John Wick would kill him.
I'm just a Denzel fan. So
I still think John Wick got it, but like the Accountant was probably the only other person besides John Wick that I've seen that was that calculated going into anything that he did.
Wait. How about Creasy versus Wick?
Wick.
Okay, I agree. So who out there? Okay, so at this point, we all agree that Wick would win, right?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Even without having seen the third one, I still would say John Wick would win. So who do we think, without like superpower, could take out Wick?
Huh?
What, like non-superpower person that you would think could take out Wick?
That's it. I think the Accountant. I think he
So I haven't seen that. So.
Yeah, because he was just very, very calculated. Before he made a move, he had every single thing plotted and planned.
Think like chess master against versus a checkers master.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not saying that John Wick is checkers, but it's just the Accountant is just that.
So there was a thing that posted is talking about Ben Affleck, and the thing that he had on, I think Netflix completely bombed, and I was just like, Ben Affleck just sucks. And somebody was like, yo, you haven't seen The Accountant? You're extremely underestimating him. And I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. Why would I see it? It's Ben Affleck.
You want to know why?
What's the point?
You want to know why The Accountant's so good? It made me forgive him for Daredevil. I was like, you know what? You're out of it. You're in the clear.
You kind of forget that it's Ben Affleck.
How about Daredevil versus Wick?
We're not going to talk about that. Daredevil never existed. That red suit never existed, as far as I'm concerned.
All right. You didn't like Daredevil?
Man, you got some.
No. I'm talking about Netflix.
Oh, the Netflix Daredevil. Yeah, Netflix was cool. Netflix was cool.
That's what I'm talking about, like that Daredevil versus.
Oh, yeah, John Wick still.
John Wick stuff. Okay, all right. So we have John Wick as the winner.